Welcome back. In the last video, we left off with the geometry that you see before you, which in part one of the video we went through the creation of. So we'll go ahead and start from here. And what we need to do is to hollow out the bottom of the windshield. And if we look at our print, you can see here on the section, all the stuff's cut away. Okay, and I'm sure there's lots of different ways to do it, but the command that we use and used most often is the shell command. And with the shell command, you can see here, before we do it, we need to leave a thickness of 7/100 of an inch. Well, the shell command is just the command for the job, and you can see here, opens up. I've moved my part so that I'm underneath it. I've set the thickness to 0.07, and I'm just going to click the face of the bottom and literally hit enter, and I'm done. It really was that simple. Now what we have to do, if we look at our print, there's kind of this connector piece that sticks down from the top or the underside of the shape, the curved shape, and then it extends down. This is what actually keys into the body. And literally, we have a couple dimensions to work from here. We know that it is 2-inch 22/100 away from the back edge. It's 2-inch 26/100 away from the bottom edge. And literally, we know that the thickness, even though it doesn't say that, we actually do, it's over here. On this removed section, it tells me that it's 5/1000 of an inch thick. Okay, well, I think we can create that pretty easily. So what I'm going to do is I am literally going to flip this so that I'm looking right at the bottom. And I want to make sure that when I do this, that the back, flip this so you can see it, that this pointy edge is facing away from me. It's on my right. I'm going to do a start new 2D sketch, and I'm literally going to click the underside of my windshield. Alright, so literally what I want to do is I am literally going to draw a rectangle on here. Don't care how big it is. Not worried about that just yet. I've literally put a rectangle on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those dimensional constraints on that I mentioned. I know that it is 29/100 of an inch off the bottom. So just drag it out. 29. I know that it is how big? Well, it tells me. Yeah, it doesn't tell me. Mr. Johnson put the wrong dimension on. So grab there to there. It tells me that it's 2 inches, 26/100. Okay. Okay, it tells me it's 68/100 of an inch off the back. And then it tells me that it's 2-inch 22/100 from there to there. Okay, there's my outline of what I'm going to be working with. Okay, so we want to create this detail here, this 5/100 of an inch offset. Well, the command to use is, well, offset. So literally what I'm going to do is click offset, Click my line, make sure I'm to the inside, hit enter. Done. That literally was that simple. Okay, now I'm not going to go through the process of creating all 6 of the nubs, but I will show you how to do the first one because the logic is pretty much exactly the same on all of these. I'm going to switch over to 2-point center rectangle, and I'm going to come in and I want to find the very first nub, which on mine tells me it's 1 inch 28/100 up. So instead of dimensioning it, I'm going to use my object snap, which if you look should be, there it is. Okay, so there's my little thing. Tells me these things are 0.05 wide, so tab 0.5, tab this way. Now they stick out 0.04, so to get it to stick out 0.04 I need to make it 0.08, and I hit enter. Okay. Now, okay, so there's that. I'm going to erase that dimension. I'm going to come in, use the trim command, and I'm going to cut away the stuff I don't want. That's what I want left when I have it. Okay. So you can go through and repeat that on the other side. Do the same thing again. Green. Again, 50.08. And it locks off. 0.8. Okay. Show you that again. And the reason I have to take this dimension off is because it'll constrain and it won't allow you to trim that. So trim, 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 trim. And there you go. So then there's 2 of the nubs. Okay, and there's 4 more nubs to put on. The process literally is exactly the same. But what do I do now? Okay, well, I've got to look at this print, and it tells me that there are 4.15 inch fillets, it says in the upper right hand corner of the underside view. And I'm looking to see if there's anything else, and then, well, there aren't. So what I have to assume is what? I'm looking for one last dimension. Always double check and make sure that you don't miss something, but I need to put those fillets on. It tells me it's 0.15. So I'm going to come in, click, I'm going to click here because it doesn't tell me what those are. I know those are filleted. They have to be because you could not make it if you didn't. And if you wonder how I'm getting it to do this like weird geometry where it puts it all in at once, you just have to click inside one line, zoom in just a little bit, like on that point, and there it is. So I do that because I want to make that a little bit smaller. What I'm going to do is I'm going to erase that for just a second. Don't worry about that just right now. I'm going to erase that geometry, and the reason I want to do that, and I apologize that I got ahead of myself, I want to do this offset again at 0.05. There it is. Okay. There we go. Now, if you wonder why I did that, that now automatically figures out what that radius needs to be. I don't have to math. So there's basically the geometry. Of course, you'll have to put on the 4 other blocks, which I'm going to do here in very short order, just so that I can say that I have done them. 0.05, 0.08. Dimensionally constrain those from there to there. How far up? Don't over constrain. You'll probably over constrain again anyway, but that's supposed to be at 2.22. Nope. .94. This one is on something. I don't want that to be there. I want to put a dimension from there to don't want it to do that. Okay. You kind of get the idea. So you're going to jump ahead. You're not going to see what I'm doing. There's what I was talking about with trimming. You do have to get rid of those dimensions or else you can't trim. So basically you'll have 6 of these ribs all the way around your object. I'm just going to finish trimming these away. Do not try to keep up. You'll probably want to stop this right after this to actually do this. Okay, so there's my 6 ribs. Just come down here. I'm not going to draw all 6. You will draw all 6. That's part of your assignment. Okay, so we finished up that. All right. So really the hardest part now is doing the extrude. It's going to take us about 2 or 3 seconds. So up till now, we've been working with equal extrusions. They go either down or they go up. So up, down. And in this case, we don't want to use this because, hey, wait a second, that would come all the way through. So what we want to use is the asymmetrical extrude, which is this one here. And what we want to do is we want to change this from distance to next. Okay. Now, you can see what it just did. It changed my choice. And that's okay. Because what we're going to do is we're going to say okay to that. Okay, and we've created that first part. We want to come in. We want to go to sketch, the last sketch, and we want to share it. Now, we're going to do an extrude again. And it tells me that that sticks down 0.67. Boom. There it is. Okay, now you do have to put the fillets on and stuff, but that's really not too bad. It tells us that those are 0.5 on these outside edges. just going to click there. Now you'll notice it didn't like me when I did that, but that's okay. Because I think if we keep clicking, it's going to get madder. Yep, and it did. So let's go 0.05. Yeah, it didn't like that either. So basically, it's telling me that that fillet radius there is just too big. For the geometry that we have. And my computer is lagging right now, so we'll do 0.25. But that should give you a good headline. You'll be able to finish the thing from there. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this video helps.